Hello, mathematicians. This is the review for the Polygon quiz, and the checkpoint or the quiz will look very similar to this. So if you feel great on this, you'll feel great on the quiz. Okay, we're going to fill in the table, and in that first column, we need to circle the definition and draw a picture. And of course, your picture doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it as perfect as you can. Okay, the first one, a scalene triangle. Think silly scalene, where no sides are the same length. And when you draw that picture, try to draw a short side, a medium side, and a long side. The next one, isosceles. Without poking those eyeballs, touch your eyes and see that it shows the number 2. Isosceles means two sides are the same length. And a nice easy way to draw an isosceles triangle is a party hat or an ice cream cone. The next one, equilateral, is when everything is equal. So all sides are the same length. And that is typically the first triangle that kids learn to identify, is that equilateral triangle, where all sides are the same length. Okay, those three words were defining a triangle based on their outside, or the length of their sides. Now we have three words that describe the inside, or their angles. A right triangle means it has one right angle. And when you draw it, I would suggest putting that little square in to show that that is a right angle. Remember, it has two acute angles, but if it has one right angle, automatically a right triangle. An acute triangle is when all three are acute angles, and there's lots of examples of acute. That party hat one, an equilateral triangle, those all have acute angles. And the last one is an obtuse triangle. Even though two of them are acute, if even one of them is obtuse, automatically an obtuse triangle. So we have three words that describe the outside of a triangle and three words that can describe the inside of a triangle. All right, on to the back. These are all quadrilaterals. There's a lot of vocabulary words simply for four-sided shapes, and then there's two at the bottom for some shapes with more sides. Okay, a trapezoid is when it has one set of parallel sides. And a trapezoid can look like this, where the top and bottom are parallel. A trapezoid could also look like this, where the left and right are parallel. And I always think a trapezoid looks like a kind of ramp. A rhombus. I know this is not always true, but just think yes. Are all buses the same length? Yes. Are all seats on a bus the same length? Yes. Are all windows on a bus the same length? Yes. Are all kindergartners on a bus the same length? Just say yes. Okay, so think bus. All the sides are the same length. There's a lot of examples. You only have to draw one. Here is like the typical rhombus that most people think. But you could also draw a square, because the square is a rhombus as well. For rectangle, think rectangle, angle, angle. All about the right angles, baby. And the typical rectangle that people think of, but you also could draw a square, because if it has four right angles, it's a rectangle. Okay, a square. I'm going to play you a song, and it's called It's Hip to Be a Square. Hip, so hip to be, because it is hip to be a square. A square is very specific. It's got to have four sides. All the sides are the same length, and it has four right angles. And the only thing that matches that is a square. So that's the only thing you could draw. The last two have more than four sides. One is an octagon. Think maybe an octopus. 8 sides. Now, you could draw that typical octagon, that regular octagon, that perfect octagon, but you also could draw something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Either one of those is an octagon. One's regular, one is irregular. And the last one, a hexagon, has an X in it, just like the number 6 has an X in it. And this is the typical hexagon, or maybe something like this. And finally, the lines of symmetry. the more perfect a shape is, the more lines of symmetry it has. This is a square, it's just tilted. This is a perfect triangle, 3 lines of symmetry. A trapezoid has 1. All right, here are the answers for the front, the answers for the back. All right, kids, I'll see you in class.